Hey everyone, here in this video I will be teaching you some of the very basic commands that you must use in your router or switch. So let's start with hostname command. You will use this command to name the device. Normally you will use hostname command to identify where the device is exactly located. So let's assign a name for your router, global configuration mode. Then from global configuration mode you need to type the command called hostname space. Then you need to type the name what you want to assign for your router. Whenever you assign any of the name for your router or switch, it must make sense to you as well. Let's say for example you have two buildings, building A and building B. Each one of the building has two floors, ground floor and first floor. And if you want to name the device located in building A ground floor, you can use name something like SW, W for switch, hyphen, then the building name A, in my case, again hyphen, the which floor, GF, GF for ground floor, FF for first floor. Or if you want the device name as per the department, like for example HR, finance, planning, then you can use those names, right? So use according to the department names, right? So here in my case I will choose SW-A-GF. Once I enter, your router name will be changed as SW-A-GF. Again, it is completely up to you. Second command, logon banner. This is some kind of warning message that you can set in your router or switch console. So any intruder who may want to access your device will get this warning message when they log in. Also, logon banners are often used to inform users about their legal rights. In order to create banner in a router console, I will use banner command in global configuration mode. So I will type banner, leave the space, then type the question mark. You can configure banner message using various methods in your router. Initially, I will show you how you're going to set the banner message in your router console. So I will type MOTD, leave the space, then you can type the message what you want in the router console. Here I will use delimiting character initially. Delimiting character indicate the start and end point of your banner message. I will use £, enter, then you can start to type your message. So once I finish my banner message, then you have to close the banner message with the same delimiting character which you start, that is £, then again enter, then that banner message will be applied for your router console. Once you set the banner, when you log into the device using console, you can see this message. Or when anyone try to log in through the telnet session, they also be able to see this banner message. Right, so I will exit out from the global configuration mode. And again when you enter, at first you can see this banner message, right? Okay, and let's see how the banner message will be shown for the telnet user. I will get into the command prompt of my computer. Then I can use the command telnet, then the IP address which I have configured in my switch, that is 192.168.150.1. Once I enter, here also I will be able to see the banner message which I have configured in my console. Next, negate command. It is a command to revert to its default setting. You have to use no form in front of the command. It will be used to disable the command which you executed in your console. As you know, already we configured the banner message for the device. If you want to remove the banner message, simply you can use no in front of banner MOTD command. So here I am going to remove the banner message. Global configuration mode, no banner MOTD. Once you run this command, if you notice that banner message is no more exist in your device. Here you no need to type entire message which you included in the banner command earlier. This no form method you can use almost every commands in your device. However, some CLI commands will not work in same method. Instead you have to include complete commands. Next, let's see about telnet and console session. What is console access and what is telnet access? How you will assign password for these two access method? We already discussed in another video which we posted in our YouTube channel earlier. So if you didn't watch that video, you can click the annotation mark on the top and can get to that video as well. However, I will quickly configure password for these two access method. So I will get into the global configuration mode. From here I will use line console 0 password Cisco login. This is console password. Then line VTY 04 password Cisco login. So now you have configured both the line console and line VTY password. Next, enable password and enable secret password. Enable password is used for securing privilege mode. This password will be shown in clear text format. Can verify by using show running configuration. The next, enable secret password. This is also one of the method in order to secure the privilege mode, but the difference is that it will be displayed as ciphertext. You can verify using show run command in your console. This enable secret password will override the enable password if both passwords are set in your router or switch console. Okay, to configure the enable password from global configuration mode, I will run enable, leave the space, then type password, then you can type the password what you want. I will choose Cisco. Once I enter, and when I am enter again, initially it will ask the console password, and when I am getting into privilege exec mode, this time it will ask password, that is enable password. Next, let's configure the enable secret password. In order to configure enable secret password, the same method you can follow up. Enable secret, instead of password you will use secret, then you can provide the password that you want. If I am providing the same password which I have provided to the enable password, then it will provide the message this password cannot be configured. What they are saying, the enable secret you have chosen is the same as your enable password. This is not recommended. Re-enter the enable secret. What does it mean? Currently in our console, in our switch, the enable password is there. When I am providing the enable secret password, it must be unique. You cannot provide the same password as you configure the enable password earlier, right? So if you are providing same password, then there is no reason why do we need to create the enable secret password. So it must be unique. If both passwords are there, which means enable password and enable secret password, then enable password will get overwritten by the enable secret password. So I will just provide enable secret password here, enable secret. This time I will choose Cisco 123, right? So this is different from enable password, right? So if I am exit out from the global configuration mode, again if I am exit out, then if I am getting into the console again, initially it will ask the console password. Once I enter, then I can get into the user exec mode, and from the user exec mode, if I want to get into the privilege exec mode, this time I will just provide Cisco 123. Once I provide, then I can get into the privilege exec mode. And one more thing you must remember, whenever you provide enable password, it will be shown in clear text. So if you provide the command show run, here you can verify what the password is. If you notice the enable secret password, it is in ciphertext format. So this is what the enable secret is more secure than the enable password. So always you can choose enable secret password instead of enable password. The next basic command which we are going to use is logging synchronous. By default, iOS displays syslog messages to the console users at any time. Logging synchronous command prevents every logging output from immediately interrupting your console session. So I will show you through the console how it will work. Let's say you configure something in the router. For example, I am changing the router name once again. Hostname SW1. Enter. Then immediately after you exit from global configuration mode, you want to execute some other command, like you want to see the directories inside the flash. I can use show flash command, but when I type show, before we finish the command, that command was interrupted by the syslog messages in your router, right? So here you can notice how the command was interrupted and the syslog message was shown. To prevent this, we can use logging synchronous command in the line console, right? So how are you going to prevent this? First of all, I will just get into the global configuration mode again, the line console in your router. Type logging synchronous, enter. Then if you exit out of the interface and if you type show flash, now the syslog message was shown, but the command was copied to next line below the message. So this is what we want. Next, we will see how you're going to save your configuration in your router console. To save the router or switch configuration, you can use one of the following command. Copy running configuration space startup configuration. Then the content of the running configuration will be copied to the startup configuration. This is one method. Or you can use write memory command. Either you can use WR. So let's see how you're going to save it in the device. You can use 3 commands. One of these 3 commands you can use in order to save the configuration in your device. The first command, copy running configuration, then startup configuration. This command you can use in order to save the configuration, and if you would like, you can use write memory command. Next, WR. WR is the short command for your write memory command, right? So any one of these commands you can use in order to save your configuration in your router. And if you would like to see the existing configuration in your router, you can use show startup configuration command. Once you enter, the configuration which already is saved in your router will be shown over here, right? Next, let's see how you're going to set up the clock in your router or switch. Before you configure a local time on a router, it will display the date as March 1st, 1993. Can verify using show clock command, so I will show through the demonstration. Okay, so far we didn't configure any time in this router. Before we configure the time, let's verify the existing time in this switch. Show clock. You can verify by default the time is March 1st, 1993. When you set up the clock for the device, always initially you have to configure the time zone using following command. So in order to configure the clock time zone, get into the global configuration mode, then use the command called clock space, then you need to type time zone, leave the space and again put the question mark, and here you can provide a customized name for your time zone. And if you don't know the exact time zone for your country, then what you can do, you can follow up the Google, and from there you can pick the exact time zone for your country. According to that you can set the clock in your switch or router, right? So here I am following one of the website to pick the exact time zone, right? So here you can provide the customized name for your time zone. I will just provide JST, again leave the space and put the question mark. Here I can select the UTC offset. According to this website, the UTC offset for the Japan +9. I will just choose +9, enter, then the time zone will be set for your switch, right? So then again I will exit out from the global configuration mode. Then from the privilege exit mode, what we can do, we can set the time, right? So in order to set the time, you can use the command called clock space Then you can set the clock, set space again, and you can provide the hours 7, right, morning 7 o'clock. So I will just choose 7 shift colon in minute 16 minute, second 53 seconds, leave the space and put the question mark, month of the day, day of the month you have to choose. So I will type 2, the 2nd October 2020. So I will just choose 2, again leave the space, then the month of the year, that is October, again leave the space, then finally you have to put the year. I will just choose 2020 and again leave the space and then put the question mark. Here you can see there is nothing to select hereafter. What we can do, we can just enter. Once we enter, the time will be set. Again, if I provide the show clock command, here you can verify the exact time what we have given over here. So this is the method you have to use in order to configure the time zone and set the clock for your router. The next, show version. This command will display information about router's internal components including iOS version, memory, configuration register value, and etc. So through the show version command you can get such a valuable information about router or switch. Here you can get to know about the model number, right? So this is one of the 2960 switch. So it is using iOS version 12.2, right? So this kind of information we can get through the show version command, as well as how many ports are there in the router. That thing also we can come to know, right? So total altogether we can get 26 ports in this particular switch. And what is the image currently this switch is using, that kind of information also you can get through this show version command, right? Okay, next basic command which we are going to see, it is show history command. Cisco iOS maintains a record of commands issued by the user. You can also recall commands by using arrow keys. Once I enter show history, here you can see very few commands which we used earlier. This is because of history buffer size. In order to see the history buffer size, you can use the command called show terminal. Through the show terminal command, we can come to know the history buffer size. Here you can verify the history buffer size is 20. If I want, I can change the history buffer size by using terminal history size command from the privilege exec mode. So I will type terminal history. Then you can specify the size what you want. So if I put the question mark, you can assign any of the size in between 0 to 256. So currently our history buffer size is 20. So if I want to make this one as 40, definitely you can change it, right? So once you change, again if you want to verify, then you can use the same command show terminal. Here you can verify your history buffer size is modified as 40. So that's all for this video. Every week you will get new videos, so please consider subscribing my YouTube channel and press the bell button, that way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.